Mahabharata, Chapter 25. Krishna. Ugrasena was the king of Mathura. Ugrasena had a son called Kamsa. Kamsa showed evil qualities right from his young age. Ugrasena was concerned by this. Kamsa was supposed to become the crown prince. Ugrasena did not want to make Kamsa the future king and let the land be ruled by an evil person. Thus, Ugrasena made it explicit that he would not make Kamsa the next king. Naturally, this made Kamsa angry. When he grew up, Kamsa wanted to overthrow his father and usurp the throne. But he had no army to back him up. How could he overthrow his father, the king, without the support of an army? A friend advised him. Taking his advice, Kamsa married the twin daughters of King Jarasandha of Magadha. Using Jarasanda's army as cover, Kamsa overthrew his father Ugrasena and took over the kingdom of Mathura. Then Kamsa put his own father in jail and became the king of Mathura. Kamsa had a sister called Devaki. Devaki married a king called Vasudeva, who was Kunti Devi's sister. Remember, Kunti Devi was the mother of the Pandavas. Thus, Vasudeva was the maternal uncle of the Pandavas. During the wedding of Vasudeva and Devaki, a voice from heaven addressed Kamsa. The voice said, "Kamsa, your sister's 8th son will be the reason for your death." Kamsa was horrified on hearing this voice. Immediately, the evil Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki, his own sister. But Vasudeva intervened and spoke for his wife and pleaded with Kamsa not to kill Devaki. Kamsa agreed. Instead of killing Devaki, Kamsa decided to imprison both Vasudeva and Devaki for life and kill any children they may have. Thus, Kamsa had imprisoned his father Ugrasena, his sister Devaki, and his brother-in-law Vasudeva. Devaki and Vasudeva had 6 children. All 6 of them were killed by Kamsa. When Devaki conceived for the 7th time, goddess Maya transferred the child from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. Rohini was Vasudeva's second wife. Rohini escaped to Gokula and saved the 7th child. This 7th child of Devaki and Vasudeva grew up as Balarama. Devaki conceived the 8th time. The 8th child born to Devaki and Vasudeva was Krishna. Krishna was saved from Kamsa's wrath and was secretly transferred to Gokula and was raised by a cowherd couple called Nanda and Yashoda. Krishna and Balarama, though sons of Devaki and Vasudeva, were brought up by Nanda and Yashoda and grew up as brothers. Let us recap the names and relations in this chapter, since there have been many and might be a little confusing. Ugrasena was the father of Kamsa and Devaki. Devaki was thus Kamsa's sister. Devaki married Vasudeva, who was Kunti Devi's brother. Thus, Vasudeva was the uncle of the Pandavas, and his sons Krishna and Balarama were first cousins of the Pandavas. Krishna, in fact, was born around the same time as the Pandavas. They were in the same age group. Krishna and Balarama were brought up by a cowherd couple called Nanda and Yashoda in Gokula. Back to the story. Krishna grew up as a cowherd in the farm of Nanda and Yashoda and eventually came back to Mathura to kill his uncle Kamsa and set his real mother and father free. Krishna installed Ugrasena, his grandfather, as the king of Mathura once more and Vasudeva as the next in line. After Kamsa's death, his wives were widowed. Kamsa's wives were Jarasandha's daughters. Seeing his widowed daughters, Jarasandha was distraught. He attacked Mathura 17 times and failed. Jarasandha swore that the entire Yadava clan, including Krishna, would be his enemy for life. This is the reason for the enmity between Krishna and Jarasandha. We will see more instances of this enmity and related incidents later in the Mahabharata. Also note that Jarasandha was 2 generations older than Krishna and the Pandavas. Krishna went on to set his capital in Dwaraka, which was an island and thus could not be easily attacked by Jarasandha. This is the story of Krishna the man. However, Krishna was not an ordinary man. Krishna was an avatar or incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Let us look into the story that talks about Krishna the God. The time when Kamsa was ruling Mathura, he did numerous evil deeds. The earth at that time was tormented by several asuras. There was a critical need for divine intervention. The gods of heaven approached Lord Vishnu and requested his help. Lord Vishnu consented to the request and decided to be born as a human in this world and free it from suffering. This incarnation of Lord Vishnu, this avatar, was Krishna. Thus, Krishna was none other than Lord Vishnu. Balarama was the incarnation of Adisesha, the king of snakes. Adisesha is the 10-headed snake that Lord Vishnu rests on. Adisesha was also said to be a part of Lord Vishnu, and thus Balarama was arguably another avatar of Lord Vishnu. It is important to understand that these facts arise from several sources of information. The Mahabharata is one, the Bhagavata Purana is another. They were both written by Vyasa. In fact, there are 18 Puranas in total. Puranas are ancient Hindu texts eulogizing various deities, primarily the divine Trimurti gods in Hinduism. Sage Vyasa is the credited author of all of them, all the 18 Puranas. Of these, the Bhagavata Purana is the most popular. The Bhagavata Purana declares Lord Vishnu or Narayana as Parabrahman, that is, the Supreme Lord who creates unlimited universes. Lord Vishnu engages in the creation of 14 worlds within the universe as Brahma when he deliberately accepts the Rajas Guna. Lord Vishnu himself maintains and preserves the universe as Vishnu when he accepts the Sattva Guna. Finally, Lord Vishnu annihilates the universe at the end of Mahakalpa as Shiva or Rudra when he accepts the Tamas Guna. Therefore, the Holy Trimurti, that is, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, is no different from Lord Vishnu, according to this reference. To make it simple, in Hinduism, we are used to hearing about different gods: Indra, Vayu, Surya, Ganesha, etc. All these gods roll up in hierarchy to the Trimurti, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The Trimurti, these three in turn, are created by the Supreme Lord, referred to as Parabrahman, also known as Anami, the Nameless One. It is important not to think of Parabrahman as someone sitting above everyone in a chair behind a desk. Parabrahman is the true God. It is the true spirit that resonates through the entire universe. In the Bible, it is referred to as the Word. The first verse in John chapter 1 in the Bible says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." The Bible also goes on to refer to the Word made flesh. In Hinduism, we call this phenomenon an avatar or incarnation. In Sikhism, this universal spirit is referred to as Nam or Shabad. In South India, it is called Namam. It is the source that created everything, and part of the same source resides as a soul in every living creature on earth. For those who realize this true nature of our soul, they see that we are no different from the Parabrahman. The reason for giving this elaborate origin of the universe is this. Lord Vishnu is believed to be the Parabrahman who takes the forms of Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma to create, preserve, and destroy the universe. Thus, Vishnu is no different from the Parabrahman. Since Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu, he in turn is no different from the universal spirit Parabrahman. Thus, Krishna is believed to be the most supreme Lord. In the Mahabharata, those who believed Krishna to be the supreme Lord respected and worshipped him. The Pandavas, Bhishma, Kunti, Draupadi, all believed this aspect. However, as we will see later, it was Arjuna who realizes this fact and gets to see with his own eyes the true nature of Lord Krishna as a result of the Bhagavad Gita, which is related to Arjuna by Krishna in the Kurukshetra battlefield. This chapter is intended to give a brief introduction of Krishna the man as well as Krishna the God. In the next few chapters, we will listen to some stories of Krishna to give the listener a better understanding of his divine nature. We will return to the Mahabharata once we have covered the Krishna stories. The chapters 26, 27, and 28 will cover Lord Krishna in sufficient detail. The Mahabharata story will resume in chapter 29. We will dive into Krishna's birth and history in the next chapter.